All right, so I am going on a little walk with Sammy and Lincoln. Sammy is Sammy is my little Formosan mountain dog. Has no back legs, so she lost those in a little car accident in Taiwan. Someone ran over her on purpose. There's almost 2 million stray dogs, unfortunately. So we're walking out here. We just saw some, and then there's Lincoln over here actually. Lincoln is 9 years old. Lincoln, hello, Mr. Lincoln. So as you can see, I'm walking with them using two retractable leashes. They're very easy to use. Thumb for Lincoln, pink pointing finger for Sammy. So what's happened is Sammy's been a bit traumatized just now. Some kids, you can see that she's looking behind her. Some kids had just ridden by on their scooters, and so Sammy became a bit scared, and now she's afraid of them because where she comes from in Taiwan, there's a lot of people who are very mean and evil. So I'm just gonna keep walking with Sammy and trying to let her understand that she's safe and she's okay. So this live is about walking with a senior or disabled dog and how to let them feel inclusive, because what a lot of people seem to forget is that as your dog gets older, they're cognizant, they're aware of their bodies slowing down. So as they start to slow down, they don't know why, and they're still trying to keep up. So then what happens is, of course, if you can't do what you used to do, kind of like glory days, you remember those things. So we don't want that to be resident in our dog's minds. So often the retractable is an excellent device, as I said. Lincoln and Sammy over here, it'll allow them to have some free range, right? So Sammy just comes whenever she wants to, and Lincoln goes as his own, and we have literally 26 feet circumference, diameter. But so when you're walking with your dog who is disabled, or again, who is having age issues, because Lincoln's 160 pounds and he's having a bit of difficulty now walking, and he's not as spry, is walk slow. If you're going to walk with them for an hour, and here goes Lincoln, you're okay, Lincoln. So what happened is, as he approached there, you could hear me shuffle my foot. It was my right foot. I shuffled it forward as he came forward, but then I realized that he's going to try to keep up and rush himself up the hill. So I stopped myself from moving, and I remained perfectly still. By remaining perfectly still, Lincoln realizes I'm not going anywhere, and he doesn't have to rush himself up the hill. And that's something that I do with anxious dogs, insecure dogs, is I stay where it is, where I am, right here in the point. I don't move. And then they still have the flexibility to go wherever they want on the lead, but instead they're just hanging out. So they understand that there's a safety area as well. That's why a lot of dogs have issues on leash, not because that they're leash reactive, it's because that their humans have never given them a translation of exactly how much of the distance on the lead is. If mine are 6 feet, yeah, I'll just show you Lincoln as well. He's getting a little bit riled up. You can see his hackles starting to get a mohawk on him. So I'll twist him out there. Oops. There we go. So see his hackles out here. There's the dog over there. There's Sammy over here. So I'm still gonna walk slowly. And those of you who saw my last live where David was trying to go after the dog that was out here, he hadn't seen in a month, was able to calm him down. But I'm gonna walk slowly for them, because if I start rushing them because of his age, he's going to start pushing himself, and Lincoln may cause an injury, an exercise-related injury, just like us. If we pull our back, and then what's going to happen is he can't express his pain, and if you're not paying attention to his body, you won't be able to tell that he's in pain or causing a limp that's just so minor that's going to become worse as he ages. So what I do is I just let him walk whenever he wants. Again, on the lead, there's Sammy here as well. So we have a lot of, here it is. I can move it whichever way. And that's when I'm walking with the Great Danes, 160, 200 pounds. Same thing with one lead, one hand. Okay, let's go, please. And there it is. I don't have to do anything. And they come over here. It takes a lot of work. But see, as I'm walking with him, I'm not in a rush. Hi, Lincoln. You hear the kids in the background. He got scared, so all I did was say his name. And now I can stop. He stops over here, waiting for that dog to harass each other. Lincoln, 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 seriously, stop, Lincoln. Lincoln, stop. Now, so what I'm gonna do is just get him, Lincoln, stop, please. So I'm just gonna, you're okay, Lincoln. And then what has happened is I give Lincoln a hug. That's it. And it makes him feel safe. It allows us to feel the respiratory aspects of our dog, how they're breathing, the pattern, the physicality. We're able to feel when we're hugging somebody, if they're tense or not. If she's unhappy, you can feel the tension. If he's upset, you can feel the resistance. Lincoln, seriously, you're okay, Lincoln. Lincoln. So the tone of voice. Stop, please, Lincoln, not funny. So we watch him. Lincoln, let's go, please. Let's go, please. Lincoln, 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 Lincoln. Oh, Lincoln, come, please. Lincoln, give me a hug. So I'm gonna pull him in. Lincoln, give me a hug. Give me a hug, Lincoln. Stop, please. So you see that aspect of swallowing, right, in the tongue behavior. Oh, stop, please. Stop, please. Hi, Lincoln. So that's all it is. So he comes back to me because I make him feel safe. We do everything for our dog. Feed them, love them, hug them, kiss them, and take them to the vet. The time that they're asking us to be protected the most, where they're afraid of being attacked, and we say to them, no, we're not going to make you feel safe. As you can see, he doesn't even want to leave now. Let's go, silly boy. Lincoln, seriously. Seriously, Lincoln. You're okay, Lincoln. See, he's afraid, so I'm going to check in with him. And Sammy, too. You're okay, Sammy. Hi, Sammy. Hi, silly girl. So then what happens is all participants, all witnesses, all victims of that traumatic experience become counseled through by the way we're holding them. It's exactly what you would do with your child if your child was afraid and having a nightmare. You hold them. You don't shake them around. You don't tell them, oh, it's just a dream. What would happen if they just said, your parents said, it's not a nightmare. Don't be a baby. Go back to sleep in that room that you're afraid of. You're going to become a little bit neurotic. You're sometimes going to become a bully. And that bully, as we all know, is the one that's always hurt and insecure inside. And we know that. We go, okay, he might be a jerk, but we have to also consider the story. This is the same thing we have to do with our dogs, is consider the story. We have to look at the individualization of the dogs as an emotional, conscious presence. And that's how I know, by working with extremely dangerous dogs, that's all I'm doing. I've spent a lot of time getting to a point where Lincoln won't attack me. He's bitten me on, mosquito. He's bitten me on the thigh quite badly. It's happened. So it's just really letting them understand that they're safe. So even as we're here, the dog's out there barking still. But because I'm maintaining a verbal communication, I'm saying things that he can listen to. My voice is calm. Then Lincoln goes, oh, all right. Well, if he's not freaking out, then I'm not freaking out. Thank you, Lincoln. We may have to go in because there's a huge mosquito on my head somewhere. So that's what, sorry guys. So that's where the structure of understanding, why is he afraid? So I go back to figure out, okay, what did the parents say about his behavior? What was he like as a puppy? What does his photo looks like? Just like you can pick out a photo of your dog that you're going to adopt, because there's an emotional connection. If your friend says that, hey, I met this guy on Tinder, you're going to say, okay, well, send me a photo. Let's see if he's good enough for you and all that kind of stuff. We're going to look at the photo and we're going to study it, and we're going to kind of go, okay, our opinion is blah, 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 blah. And you're going to say, all right, okay, cool. Because you made an opinion based on the sum of your experiences of meeting people who have similar features like that, which is kind of like that aspect of artificial intelligence. But, I mean, for face recognition. So the point, though, is if you're watching what's going on, you can tell when your dog is getting upset, immediately bring him in or her in for a hug. And as you saw, there's no motion. I'm not patting my hands around. I'm not doing anything at all. And actually, I saw this afternoon in White Rock. A woman with her dog who's a Mastiff, and she's about 170 pounds and 17 months of age. And what ended up happening is that her husband passed away, and they weren't able to. She's not able to take care of her, and she's pulling and going after other dogs and everything, and they have not been able to have any success. So I went in today. This second time, I went in the first time, and I just spent some time talking to her, about an hour, and then I said I'll come back, which is today. And so I told her about what was going on. Hi, Sammy. You're okay. I'm always acknowledging what I'm doing, whoever's nearby, so there's communication going. Then they don't have to worry so much. So I'm changing the way I'm talking there again. But yeah, so I went and helped her, and she just had a problem with her dog lunging, and at 170 pounds makes it very difficult for anyone to hold onto their dog, especially an older woman. So I showed her how to interpret the behavior of her dog and see the process where she was communicating by turning her head or making peripheral vision, that type of eye contact, and then she could see that. Once I point it out to people, they go, oh, because intuitively you already know. You just need someone to say, well, that's what it actually means, because I've put myself in pretty dangerous situations to find out whether or not I was right. So take it from me. If I'm seeing something, I'm recognizing the template structure, right? That behavior that's in that template that the dog understands in that particular envelope of experience, right? A conflation that creates consciousness as a process. So, you want to give them that hug, because the hug. Hi, Jeanette. Oh, yeah, I'll respond to your email. I'm sorry. I haven't been on in the last day or two. So you want to communicate with them, and when you hug them, you let your dog know you're safe. So you just see here earlier, a few minutes ago, with Lincoln, as we're walking past that home right down in the corner, where that dog is always barking at everybody. Lincoln barks the first couple of times, and he gets upset, and then I give him a hug. And then he goes off again, and I give him a hug, and it's a reset hug. And what that hug is, a reset, is a physicality where you get in and you feel how the dog's body is breathing actually. It's not this kind of like, oh, I'm being sucky, but you are defending them, you are protecting them, because again, you spend 95% of the day protecting them, feeding them, giving them food, taking them to the vet, and suddenly when they need you the most, you went, screw it, I'm not going to take care of you, I'm going to abandon you. You're there for the bitter end. They'll give their life to defend yours. So that's that expectation, that codependency, that true love. And so it's unconditional. Lincoln, so there's Lincoln walking off, barking at the dog. I give him a hug, I reset him. I can feel his respiratory aspect. Watch the videos. The other day, yesterday or the day before, with David on a retractable. David is 200 pounds, 3 feet 2 inches at the shoulders, 80 milligrams Prozac, 750 milligrams Trazodone every day for 2 years. He has 16 attacks on him. So we see the geese there, so I'm just going to make a mention there for that, for them to hear that I've acknowledged. No, Lincoln, out of dirt, please. So David had all these significant issues, and the usual attacks and hating people and trying to hurt people and stuff like that. And so I just do the aspect of just letting them know that I'm going to protect them. And I keep my physicality very still. If you meet me in person when I'm not working with my dogs, I'm quite hyperactive, but I understand I have to slow my own processes down. And if I slow down, that means my brain's thinking more. If I'm not worried about giving a treat to my dysfunctional dog, then I get to concentrate on, well, I got to pay attention. The easiest thing that I tell people to do is, like my clients before we book, is just watch your dog, just watch them, record it as well. Don't hold your hand, put the phone down somewhere and let it record it. Sorry, there's mosquitoes here. And just film, right? Let it record, and then just watch your dog. Don't say anything, don't try to get their attention, and then say their name. And say it in a way that they look up, or they kind of flinch, or they do something that you think, or even a deep breath. That is an acknowledgement of a conscious recognition of your communication. Nonverbal fluency. You just saw them make a movement towards you. That's how they're expressing it. And when you forget to see what's going on in your dog's behavior, your dog goes, well, what's the use of communicating, because you're too dumb to understand what I'm saying. We communicate. We do everything for them. Again, everything. except understand them, except protect them when they need us the most. You see what I mean? If you feel you're with somebody who doesn't understand you, the first thing you're gonna do is like, I'm booking out of here. Your dog doesn't have that ability, right? You kind of got him a little bit of hostage there, but he or she trusts you for everything, absolutely everything. So when there's danger, like you see with Lincoln there, and with David is livid. He hasn't seen that dog in a month. He is livid, and I'm holding the phone, I'm recording him, and I'm holding him back with a retractable while I have another dog, I think, and no, just him. And at the end of the day, he calms down right while the dog is still barking, like it was happening with Lincoln and that dog, and the same dog just now. So it is an easy structure of letting your dog understand that they're safe and taking the time. People are in so much impatience to get things done. So many things are happening. If I can tell you, one thing is there's something that's going on that I talked about. I didn't get a chance to, it didn't happen on Monday, but it's going to happen. And it's really, really, like I say, super duper cool. And it's something that I'm working with, anyhow, it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal, and it will just blow everybody away. Yeah, just my rescue foundation is going to work with trying to get just a little bit more extension on stuff on getting known, and this might do it. So it's pretty cool. So okay, I don't know what that is, but so there's that. So yeah, even like with Lincoln, so he's rushing now because I moved forward. So he's rushing now, and you know why he stops here? It's not because he smells something. Look at the distance. Look at the distance. All right? You can't see that, but he's straight right across. So I talk about the physics, triangulation, quadrant aspect, not the stupid Skinner silly stuff, but the actual aspect of four corners in regards to how the dog perceives their environment. How you create a fuller structure if you have three dogs in a triangulation. You always see them. When you're just standing in the field, your three dogs stand in triangulation. So then if you step over there and you make yourself into a fourth corner, the fourth wall, so for example, out of acting, you create a completion for your dog to understand, because they can only see in four corners, so to speak, peripherally, etc. So you complete that for them, that cognition, the cogency, that structure where they put it together like, oh, now I feel safer because that part where we couldn't see, right? Because if you're standing at three, you still have to have someone looking a little bit to the angle every time. You're not covered all four corners. Once your dogs don't have to do that because you're communicating with them, and you're telling them their name, you're just being very calm and cool, just like it was with Lincoln at the corner there, then they go, oh, this is, okay, cool. Right, you're taking care of me because I see you, I can hear you. You're communicating. So if you watch that part with Lincoln, it's just giving him a hug, letting him know he's safe. And you do so where you keep your hands perfectly flat, your fingers together, depending on what type of dog personality they have. You keep them apart or you keep them separate. I mean, together you keep them apart. It's just depending on their type of cogency, how smart they are, what they process. Sorry, I gotta switch this thing over. My arm is getting tired because I did not bring my shelf thing. There it is. So there's Lincoln. This is actually a new, I've never seen or heard this dog before. Lincoln, so Lincoln's out there. We go out there. Lincoln, seriously. Lincoln. So we're gonna talk him through. Lincoln, come here please. Come here please. Lincoln, come here please. This is the avoidance, right? Lincoln, come please. This is avoidance. Lincoln, give me a hug. Right? So Lincoln, give me a hug. See the hackles? See how he thinks he's afraid? Stop, Lincoln. So I'll give him a hug. Right? So what he did is he ran away. He thought he was in trouble because he calmed himself down. So he wasn't used to the experience. So when I don't know how to process it through, I feel this as a threat. It's like a unfamiliar emotion. There we go. Lincoln, 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 you're okay, silly boy. Okay. It's okay. Lincoln, you're okay. You're okay, Lincoln. Lincoln. So we're going to just... Lincoln, let's go. It's okay. Lincoln, silly boy. Okay, so now he's up there. So we're going to give him a hug here. That's okay. Lincoln, stop, please. So Lincoln, again, he thinks he's in trouble. And you saw that where the other dog was behind us, right? Just coming out of the gate. And he was like, oh. But he listened to me. And I didn't struggle with the lead because I'm obviously working with the retractor. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. See how he's looking? Okay, let's go straight, please. Good boy. And then Sammy. So now Sammy got a little traumatized. So there you go, Sammy. So what I mean by traumatized is that Sammy witnessed an experience that she herself felt a little bit of emotion. You're okay, Sammy. So now I create, again, by addressing it every time by making them feel safe, I create the structure for the dog to consciously go, I feel threatened. I'm going to go to my dad, my human, to protect me, because that's why I feel safe. So why would I get angry and try to attack somebody if I just have to go to my parents and they're going to protect me anyways? Then we create that aspect of cogency instead of being the analytical linear structure of how the dog is going to process their logic versus their emotions, because emotionally then they core down to a default power process, right? It kind of like emergency powers on the Star Trek. Yes, I'm a Trekkie. So it goes on that part. Man. Wait till you guys, anyways, just, so it goes back onto that structure of how does the dog process the emotions that they're not familiar with. And anybody who's gone out with somebody, male or female, who are like unable to process emotions, you're like, okay, I don't know what's wrong with her, but it's like, that's the same structure. Doesn't know how to, don't hold my hand in public. I'm like, okay, I like holding hands. Well, I don't, you know, I'm not used to it. I'm like, okay, well, it's not my fault, but right? Hi, Sammy. But it's important to let your dog understand how they feel. Sorry, there's a lot of mosquitoes out. So you saw that again, same tape live, twice in a row. No treats, no medication. I wasn't yelling, I wasn't screaming. Just really casual. And it's that simplicity of communication because he understands contextually. You heard how I was talking to Lincoln? Like real person. Contextually is what the language is. That's the compartmentalization of emotive structures, right? When the emotion physiologically has nowhere to exhaust, then it becomes an auditory aspect of, you know, through evolutional structure. It's got to be compartmentalized. There's got to be an exhaust aspect for behavior. It can't just go silently into the night. So there's Sammy. So I'm just going to get back to what we were talking about. Sammy, let's go, please. Thank you, Sammy. Sorry. So it's just really that point. If we're always letting our dog understand that they're safe. And it goes back, see, it's full circle. It's always got to be in completion. If you ask someone to do something, you've got to let them know that they've done it. They've completed it. So you say thank you. You make a completion. Same thing if they're feeling threatened. How do you make them feel safe? Because that's what the dog wants to do. Is I want to feel safe. I'm feeling threatened. Hi, silly boys. You see, Sammy's here. They're out here because I raised my tone of voice. Hi, silly boy. Hi, silly girl. Hi, Lincoln. You're okay. Okay, let's go, silly boy and silly girl. So they feel threatened. Lincoln, so now Lincoln is trying to pull towards me because we're getting closer to the corner that goes around to the next corner down the street. So he's ready, foretelling his anxiety because you can see him right here now. See, now he actually stopped on his own. Cogency, I feel threatened. I want you to touch me. I want you to make me feel safe. Please protect me. So I'm proving these things live, right? Live. Come on, Sammy. Let's go, please. I'm proving these things live. All the theories, everything that people mock me about. Okay, well, here, how do you deal with an aggressive dog? Nope, Lincoln, oh, yucky. No, Lincoln. Lincoln? So I'm just gently pulling him. That's it. Then I'm letting him have time to think about it. Watch. And then, if I move, he'll move. So we're just going to stay here. Okay, so you can get to the end of the lead. Right, so here's the end of the lead. See that? He literally knows his relativity and relational aspects, force perspective, that aspect of a disassociation of perspective, tangent aspects, right? Physics, relational aspects of those things. He understands that. You see, he knew right to get to the end. I didn't click it. I didn't do anything. I didn't put the brake on. Cogency, relative egocentric behavior, relative on a dependency structure. So all these things is, I know what I'm talking about because I literally had to risk being killed. I have been picked up physically. I'm 190 pounds, 5'11". I've been physically picked up and shaken, and it's a horrific feeling. It feels like a machine's picking you up, but it has an organic feel to it, like a monster feel to it. And there's no use screaming while you're screaming. So it's really freaking scary. So I then become cautious, and I have to pretend, okay, well, I've got to not do these things that make me feel afraid. So it's not me hiding at that. And I want to also say, there's no such thing. If anyone ever says to you, you know, the reason why they do this is because they can, you know, an angry dog is because they can smell fear. Lincoln, let's go, please. Go, Sammy, let's go, please. That's it. Thank you. Hi, silly boy. Hi, silly girl. Acknowledgement. Ask them to do something. They did the completion. I acknowledge that they did so by the same phraseology that I always use contextually on a familial structure at the child's level of simplification of conversation. Then they understand context. And because I completed with that, finishing the loop, then they learn. They have now completed that process. I was asked to do something in a certain context. I think I did. I wasn't sure. When I did it, I was not receiving praise. I was receiving acknowledgement with respect. When you give someone a treat and food and you buy them expensive gifts and all that stuff, please find me a woman that will do that for me. But if you do that, then what ends up happening is, oh my gosh, you become quite lost. You become nobody, right? You become someone that is purchased. You become someone that is somewhat seen as a vacuity within the relationship, right? The vacuous emptiness that is out there, that you feel not part of it. Same thing when you talk to your dog in a disingenuous tone. Always use a bass tone. Hi, silly boy. Hi, silly girl. They always hear that all the time. That will help you when they're sick. That'll help you when they're upset. That will help you when they die. It will help you when they die, because they will hear the tone of your voice. And if you're like that shakiness and they're feeling that way, so again, trust me, my whole life is set on helping dogs and recognizing them as sentient beings. And it's so horrible for me to feel that people out here don't understand. So I'm supposed to be scaled, like my brothers have IQs over 160, right? So I'm gonna say this just because. And so I'm supposed to be scaled around the 200 range, and it's something that is really difficult to be able to portray information out there that people understand. And I think that the only way that I've been able to do it, Lincoln, hi Sammy, girl, Lincoln, let's go please, thank you Sammy. Acknowledgement, because Sammy waited as well. That structure of thinking, right? Collective aspect, behavior within a family, not a pack mentality. Familial structure, alpha male, alpha female. If you break that apart into the family, you see it's mom and dad, wolf. It's family. If I was wrong, I would be seriously dead, like seriously killed. Google BC Dog Whisperer, you see the article about Walter, before named Tonka. 3 feet 2 inches at the shoulders, just like David. 183 pounds, attacked 16 people, dragged a shelter worker into the kennel to kill her, bit a child in the face that required plastic surgery, sent a mom and adult son to the hospital, significant issues, beaten badly, that he has partial deafness and partial blindness, as well as some slight brain damage. Brought him here, worked with him on the process. And so people will say you can never do that with a dangerous dog. And here's the thing is, they put me in the Vancouver Sun for that, work with him, and Dr. Rebecca Ledger writes for them. And obviously she didn't feel that she was capable to do that, work with him. The concept is understanding codependency, right? The dependency structure is what all life is. Procreation, there needs to be more than one of me. How do I do so? Out of my egocentric focus, right? Even that literally nascent primal soup that goes through our brain. I'm going to send you over to Lincoln here because he's not becoming worried, right? So he's making a sign just now. See how he slows down? Lincoln, stop, please. So that's nonverbal. There you go. He could see the dog. And look at him. Hi, Lincoln. You're okay. So I'm going to switch the camera over again. There he is. Hi, silly boy. So what he actually did was knew he was going to be scared. So he came over to me immediately for help. He saw the dog. Everything is there. You're okay, Lincoln. Hi, silly boy. And then, there you go. And then with Sammy, we do this part here. Hi, Sammy girl, so that she feels okay. And then there's someone behind us. So I'm going to look behind so that they know that there's someone behind us. Hi, Lincoln. See? Lincoln, let's go. Go straight, please. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this over here again. So, Lincoln, go straight, please. Let's go, Lincoln. Come on, Lincoln. Lincoln. There you go, silly boy. Right, Lincoln, slow down. Okay, go, Lincoln. Okay, go, Lincoln. So now there's a car coming over here. So we're going to bring Lincoln over here. Okay, Lincoln, stop, please. So I'm going to squat down here with Lincoln and Sammy, especially with Sammy. And so the car's going by. So I'm going to stay here with Sammy. And the reason being, hi, Lincoln. Good boy. See? You're okay, Lincoln. You're okay, Sammy. Because Sammy was hit by a car. So she has a trauma at all times. Go straight, go left, Lincoln. So now Lincoln goes left. Right? Left is perspective, right? Where his positional perspective, left is, if Lincoln is facing one direction, that's going to be left him, will always be relative to him, right? Spatial perspective. So there he is. Watch the tape from before. See that? He's getting ready for me to help him. See that? He's doing it. There it is again. And one more time to my right. See? There you go again. Right? That's predictive behavior. And again, watch. It's just, okay, stop, please. Lincoln, stop. Lincoln, stop, please. He doesn't know how to stop. Okay, give me a hug. You're okay, Lincoln. There he is. He's a little bit livid. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. So the dog is right there. If you can see him, I don't know. Okay, Lincoln. There we go. Hi, Lincoln. Hi, silly boy. There you go. And there he is. Lincoln, hi, silly boy. You're okay, Lincoln. So I'm going to spend some time with Lincoln, and Sammy. Lincoln, wait for Sam. So we have that part here, and there's Lincoln here. There's nothing held on the lead. I'm holding them both at the same time, talking to you guys on the phone, on my cell phone. There's a dog over there. Lincoln, change the tone. Lincoln, you're okay, Lincoln. So then that tone got too disingenuous, so I had to drop it in again. Hi, silly boy. So then Lincoln, what is he doing? He is literally waiting for me to give him a hug, and when I let him go, what do you think he's going to do? Hi, silly boy. Go, Lincoln. Go, Lincoln. Thank you, silly boy. And there's a little pup there. See how Lincoln is stopping himself? He's literally thinking it through. See how he's walking sideways? He's unable to maintain balance because he's now cogently disabled that dysfunction, right? Lincoln, you're okay. So I'm just going to pull him in a little bit. You're okay, Lincoln. Hi, silly boy. Hi, silly boy. Hi, silly boy. Hi, Sammy. And see how fast I'm going? My pace? Lincoln, 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 Lincoln. Hi, Lincoln. So he's doing this on purpose now. He's doing that on purpose. Lincoln, stop. Stop, Lincoln. Do you want a hug? Okay, Lincoln, stop. So we can, Lincoln, stop. Stop, Lincoln. So then so I'm going to stop him. I'm on the wrong side. So that's one thing. I'm on the wrong side. Because the threat's on the other side. So I'm just going to go on the other side. Wait, Lincoln, stop, please. Hi, Lincoln, stop, please. Now I'm on the right side for him. Right? So here's this. And if you see that retractable, I could not do this with a leash. It'd be impossible. Well, I could, but, then I wouldn't be able to do it so fast. So now, okay, so now there's Lincoln. And then now Sammy comes over. So I give Sammy that. And the dog's right over there. You can see him somewhere right there. There you go. And there's Lincoln. Okay, let's go, silly boy. Silly girl. Hi, Sammy. It's all hay fever time. So it's not that it's that simple. It's just that keep it simple. I was talking about the Mastiff that I saw earlier today. 17 months old, 170 pounds. They see the progress, how simple it looks. And I say, that's it, just simple. Trust me, I know it works. Just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. You don't have to pay for a course. You don't have to pay for anything. You saw how easy this is. I'm reading slivers of behavior. If I didn't, then I would be in pretty serious trouble. Lincoln would not have seen or heard or trusted me. He's actually just kind of like, oh, okay. And again, there he is. Watch this. See the line? Oh, so if you guys can see it, see the line? He knows where he's going. He knows where he's going. It doesn't matter. And if I pull on him, he stays. Because he's like, okay, well, we're not doing anything. You're not going anywhere because Sammy's not coming. So he understands that, oh, well, Sammy's not having to be pulled on the leash, and all the leashes have to be taut at the same time, so to speak. Oh, Sammy's actually, oh, okay, we're not going. So we're going to, let me just show you this part here. So when I get Sammy to go, he'll go. So, Sammy, let's go, please. Go, Sammy. So, right, go, Sammy. There's David. Sammy, go. Sammy, go. Right, so she stays parallel. You see a body position like it was with Lincoln when he was going into the ditch? He's waiting for her. Sammy. Let's go, Sam. Go, Sammy. 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 Lincoln. 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 So he's wondering where the dog is, why the dog's not barking. Lincoln. So it's all the time in the world. Lincoln. So there's a car coming over here. So I'm just going to step over. So Lincoln knows that the car comes over, so he comes over to me. Right? So that's one thing that they learn. Right? So we want them to feel safe. So, okay, well then they just stop, and now they're turning around. Okay. All right. All right, so we're just gonna go on this part here. Right. Okay, let's go, silly boys, silly girl. Thank you, Sammy. Go, Lincoln. So, hi, Sammy. Oh, Sammy went a little bit. Okay, hi, silly girl. So you see that even Lincoln started to slow down because he knew if he kept going at that pace, he would take out the line. So he understands that. He understands the tension. Hi, silly boy. Go, Lincoln. And that's one of the things I'm saying, that when you're walking a dog, when you're walking a dog that's old or disabled, don't rush them. Just let them walk the distance they want. And a leash like this, really quite good. You have to practice a lot, but it allows them to have 26 feet. I mean, obviously, if your dog is too big for you, then you don't want to do that. But then they have 8 meters, 26 feet to kind of leisurely, laissez-faire, or whatever, to just, do whatever they want. And then they go, oh, well, there's no rush. And we can kind of move a little bit, and we step forward a little bit. So, like, for example, I'll show you this. So if I stop here, right, they're stopping. So they think I'm stopping for a reason because there's always coyotes out here. So I'm just going to talk a bit. And I'll just step a little bit forward. And I'll make myself look like as if I'm just casually hanging out. See? So then what happens is Lincoln's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Sammy's like, all right, we're not doing anything. This is boring. Yuck. I got a mosquito in the face and Lincoln saw a squirrel. Lincoln, let's go left. Go left. Lincoln, go left. So, perspective, right? Spatial perspective. Lincoln, go left. So if he doesn't understand, then it's just going to go a little bit left again on him and pull him to the point and repeat it. Lincoln, go left, please. Lincoln, go left. Go left, please. Let's go, please. Go left. Thank you, Lincoln. So that allows me... Actually, Sammy. Thank you, Sammy. Good girl. Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you, Lincoln. Right? That allows me to... That allows me to teach Lincoln for perspective, right? Left. I'm pulling through. So you can teach your dog to fetch. You can teach your dog their bed. You can teach their dog objectification of phrase. So Lincoln, you're running into Sammy. So you can teach them their left and their right. When you go around to the corner, you go left, go right, etc. And you just do it casually, because then it's literally just by learning the training on their own. If you make your dog, when I'm talking to them the whole time, it's just very casual. They're learning each circumstance because they're comparing to what they've done before. And if they compare to what they've done before, memory-wise, and just like looking at your friend's photo of whoever she wants to date, you're like, okay, it's that same thing, right? It's like, oh, they look like this, they look like that, because I've seen somebody on TV like that, or I know somebody who was really cool. That kind of stuff. You're like, okay, well, all right. So that's what's got to happen when you look at what your dog... tiniest of behaviors. It's the tiniest of behaviors that they're doing, and you will see it always. You will always see it constantly, that behavior happening. If you put yourself into context. Lincoln was scared. Gave him a hug. It worked. All right, worked again. But the reason why is because the it's the reason why is because of the psychology that's involved. All these things are present, and if you pay attention to it, you go, oh. So, like I was saying earlier, before Lincoln got barky at that dog, and you saw we walked by no problem. Oh shoot, I can't remember. It was off the tip of my head, and my arm is getting tired. All right, so I will do this tomorrow, and hopefully next week I'll at least have some progress report on what we're doing. All right, bye everybody.